Your LinkedIn headline can look professional and still make a recruiter move on without opening your profile. That is exactly what happened to Ethan after he replaced his job title with 3 impressive-sounding phrases. He wrote, "Results-driven professional, strategic leader, open to work." The wording sounded positive, but Maya still could not tell what role he wanted, where he fit, or what he could prove. So the problem was not that his headline lacked energy. It lacked a useful professional decision. In this video, you will see the headline structures that help the right reader classify you faster. You will also learn how to adapt them without copying a title, claim, or result that is not yours. Here is the first correction. Lead with the role or professional identity you want people to remember. Do not make the reader search through adjectives to discover what you actually do. Your headline appears in places where people see only a small part of your professional story. That includes search results, posts, comments, and profile recommendations across LinkedIn. It means your headline often has to create relevance before the full about section or experience is visible. The goal is not to explain your entire career in one line. The goal is to make the next professional decision easier. Open, ignore, save, message, or introduce. Ethan's first rewrite used a simple direct role structure. The structure is target role, function or industry, strength 1, and strength 2. For an active search, this structure is often the clearest place to begin. Before, he had project manager, open to work, strategic leader. After, he wrote program manager, customer operations, workflow delivery, cross-team coordination. Now Maya can see the role family, operating context, and 2 credible capability signals immediately. That does not guarantee a message. It simply removes avoidable uncertainty. The second useful structure is for specialists. Use specialty role, method or tool, domain, and outcome. A weak specialist headline might say marketing professional, creative thinker, growth mindset. A stronger version is product marketing manager, positioning, launch strategy, sales enablement. Each phrase gives Jordan a concrete area to verify in the profile. That is the proof rule. Every important term in the headline should be supported somewhere below it. If you write launch strategy, your experience should show launches, decisions, scope, or measurable outcomes. If you write data-driven, show the data, the decision it changed, and the result that followed. Without that support, a polished headline can create attention and then lose trust. The third structure is for senior leaders and executives. Use executive role, business area, growth, or transformation responsibility, and industry context. The common mistake is trying to display the whole career at once. A line like director, strategy, sales, operations, growth, transformation, global sounds broad, but creates no priority. A stronger version is e-commerce director, consumer goods, marketplaces, and e-grocery, P&L, and digital growth. That version communicates level, commercial scope, channel context, and the growth problem the person can own. It sounds senior because the responsibility is specific, not because the adjectives are grand. The fourth structure is outcome-led. This works when the job title is broad, the profile is consultative, or the value is easier to understand through the problem solved. For example, operations leader, service reliability, workflow scale, cost, and delivery improvement. The advantage is that the reader sees what changes because of your work. The risk is sounding like a consultant slogan if the profile does not contain scope and evidence. So pair every outcome word with a proof question. What workflow changed, at what scale, and how was improvement measured? If you cannot answer that, treat the term as a research clue, not a claim. Career change headlines require even more care. The weak version is aspiring data analyst, seeking opportunities, hardworking professional. It describes intention, but it gives Maya almost nothing to evaluate. A stronger pattern is target role, transferable background, tool, or method, and target domain capability. For example, data analyst, operations background, SQL and Power BI, process improvement. The About section should then explain the transition and show projects that support those skills. Do not use a senior target title if your evidence cannot support the level. The purpose is to clarify direction without manufacturing experience. Remote headlines have a similar trap. Project manager, remote tells the reader where you want to work, but not how you create value. A stronger remote proof headline uses role, function strength, distributed scope, and outcome. For example, program manager, global delivery, written operating rhythm, cross-time zone teams. Now remote work supports the professional signal instead of replacing it. Use this only when you can show real distributed team evidence. That might include documented decisions, written updates, handoff routines, or delivery across locations. Now compare that with a broader professional identity headline. This can help when one profile supports a primary role and one closely related adjacent target. For example, operations and program leader, cross-functional delivery, process scale, service reliability. The phrase is broader, but the capability cluster still points in one direction. Do not combine unrelated targets such as marketing, finance, operations, and product in the same headline. A headline is not a storage space for every future possibility. It is a positioning choice for the conversations you want now. Once you have a draft, run the 10-second test. Show someone only your photo, headline, location, and current role. Ask what role family they see without giving them extra context. Ask what level they assume and which strength stands out first. Ask what business problem they think you can solve. If the answers are different, vague, or unrelated, the headline is still doing too much or too little. Then run the evidence test. Take every role term, capability, outcome, industry, and market phrase from the headline. For each one, identify the proof, scope, and exact profile location that supports it. If a word has no evidence, remove it, soften it, or build the evidence before using it. This is how you avoid the keyword wall problem. Use one role family, 2 to 4 capabilities, and optional industry, market, or outcome language. Place supporting terms in about, experience, and skills instead of forcing everything into the headline. Mobile readability matters too. Put the most important role and context early, because compact views may show only part of the line. Use consistent separators and remove decorative symbols that make the line harder to scan. Then write 3 versions instead of editing one sentence forever. Version 1 should be the direct target role. Version 2 should test an executive, specialist, career change, or remote proof structure when relevant. Version 3 should test an outcome-led or broader professional identity. Score each version for role signal, proof, and readability. Choose the line another person classifies fastest, not the one that sounds most impressive to you. Ethan's final version was not the longest version. It was the version that made his direction, context, and supported strengths easiest to understand. Maya opened the profile because the headline gave her a relevant reason to continue. Jordan stayed because the About section and experience supported the same professional story. That is the complete mechanism. The headline gets attention, the profile builds trust, and the conversation tests fit. The LinkedIn Profile Optimization Kit turns that process into a structured profile system. It includes the headline system, a builder for multiple versions, selection rules, realistic examples, and proof checks. It also connects the headline to positioning, about, experience, visibility, outreach, and final quality control. After you choose a version, stop rewriting the same line every few days without new evidence. Before you publish, use this final checklist. One role family is obvious. Every important term has proof, and the line remains readable on mobile. Your headline, about, experience, and target roles all tell the same story. And no title, metric, tool, or claim would fail a detailed interview question. Fix the first unclear decision, publish the stronger version, and review the result after enough time to see a pattern. Next, learn how to decide whether uploading your resume to LinkedIn helps your search or creates unnecessary exposure. Subscribe to Career Vector for practical career systems that help you make stronger professional decisions.